Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is Tuesday, and it is an absolutely beautiful day to dive into some intense, mind-blowing soap drama. Grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get right into the madness of today's updates. I am literally shaking right now. I cannot even process what just happened on my screen, and I desperately need to vent because my mind is spinning in a million different directions. I mean, I've been watching the show religiously for years, like since 2015, and I have seen some crazy things, but the absolute sheer audacity of today's episode, I am unwell. Can we talk about Ethan Lovett? Because what in the actual world is happening with him right now? I cannot believe they actually went there and had him offer to take out Jen Sidwell. And let me just back up for a second because my heart is still racing. Ethan is sitting there with Sonny Corinthos, right? And Sonny has hired him to help the Corinthos organization, which is already a wild move considering Rick Lansing has been breathing down Sonny's neck about Ethan being a spy. But Ethan just casually drops the most deadly proposition ever. He literally looks Sonny in the eye and implies that for the right price he would eliminate Jen Sidwell. Eliminate him, like take him out permanently. Sonny's reaction was everything because even Sonny had to pause and ask him to verify what he just proposed. Sonny literally says, "For the right price you would eliminate Jen Sidwell," and Ethan doesn't even blink. He doesn't show an ounce of fear. But we all know what is really going on under the surface, right? Because I remember that scene at the Metro Court like it was yesterday. Sidwell made those subtle, terrifying threats right in front of Tracy Quartermaine. I mean, Sidwell knows exactly where Ethan's family is hiding in France. He literally described the cozy cottage where Robert Scorpio, Holly Sutton, Sasha Corbin, and Daisy Gilmore are staying. He described the cottage. Do you know how terrifying that is? Sidwell is basically holding Ethan's entire family hostage without even having them in a cell. So of course Ethan is offering to kill him. It is not about the money, it is about survival. Ethan is terrified for his mother and his family, and he knows that if Sidwell isn't put in the ground, they are all sitting ducks. Because if you think about Ethan's history, the guy was a Cassadine captive back in 2023. He knows what these international psychopaths are capable of. He knows that Sidwell torturing Holly and Lucky wasn't just a one-off thing. Sidwell's a menace. And Ethan stepping up to be Sonny's hitman just shows how desperate he is. I am sorry, but I am totally here for dark, ruthless Ethan. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about Sidwell for a second because this guy is giving me major whiplash. 1 minute. He is the most terrifying villain on the canvas, threatening families in France. And the next minute, he is outside Bobby's acting like Mr. Miyagi. Am I the only one who thought that scene with James West was completely bizarre but also kind of heartbreaking? So James is outside, Bobby's all dressed up for his karate class, and Sidwell just approaches him. My heart dropped into my stomach because Sidwell is a monster, and James is just a little kid. But Sidwell calls him young grasshopper and says he learned that lethal move from his father. What lethal move? What did James show him? And why is Sidwell suddenly acting like a nostalgic uncle? But then it hit me, Marco Rios. Sidwell is grieving his son Marco, who was murdered by Ross Cullum. Sidwell probably has a photo of Marco at that exact same age in swim trunks or something. And seeing James just triggered all that grief. It makes Sidwell so human, and I hate it because I want to hate him completely. I know some people are loving this complex villain angle, but personally, it just stresses me out because you never know when he is going to snap. And thank God Cassius Faison was there. Yes, I am actually praising Cassius right now. I know. The guy is a total fraud impersonating his dead twin brother Nathan West, but in that moment, he was fiercely protecting his nephew's son. Cassius was not going to let Sidwell harm James. It is so twisted because Cassius is working with Sidwell, but he is also playing the role of Nathan so perfectly that he is actually feeling protective of James. Or maybe he just really cares. I don't even know anymore. My brain is fried, trying to figure out Cassius's true motives. Okay, back to the point. The real bombshell of the night. The moment that had me screaming at my television. Valentin's epiphany. I have been waiting for this for weeks. Valentin finally put the pieces together and I am so here for it, but I'm also absolutely terrified. So, Valentin is hiding out in Carly's attic, right? And he is talking to Carly and he is just terse. He is so tense. He tells an astonished and worried Carly that Ross Cullum played a direct role in Anna Devane's breakdown. Yes, finally. We have been screaming this at the screen for ages. Because remember, when Jocelyn Jacks was snowed in at Windermere, she found Cesar Faison's book, The Crystalline Conspiracy, and Faison's trademark cigarillos in Cullum's coat pockets. Valentin had been freaking out because he couldn't make the connection. Anna was already dumped in France at the time. So, how did Cullum fit in? But now Valentin realizes it. Cullum is the one who gaslit Anna. Cullum is the one who dressed up as Faison and drove Anna to a psychic break. I mean, the absolute evil of Ross Cullum is staggering. And Carly's reaction was exactly like mine. She was just standing there, shocked and worried as Valentin laid it all out. Because this isn't just about Anna anymore, this is about Jocelyn. Jocelyn is the one who found that evidence. Jocelyn is the one who is snooping around Windermere. And Jocelyn visited Cullum in the ICU. If Cullum is this deep into the Faison conspiracy and he is working with Sidwell, then Jocelyn is in so much danger. This lends a whole new sinister side to the danger Jocelyn is in with the WSB. What if Cullum has already made her as an agent? Even if he didn't say anything, Cullum's not stupid. He knows Jocelyn was poking around. I am dreading what Cullum is going to do next. Are we going to lose Jocelyn? I cannot even think about it. Because Ross Cullum is awake, people. He is in his hospital bed at General Hospital and he is already making moves. He makes a phone call to someone and asks, "What do you have for me?" WHO is he calling? Is it someone in the WSB? Is it a private investigator? Is it another mercenary? At the top of Cullum's priority list right now is finding out who shot him on Pier 55. He knows it wasn't Jason Morgan. Jason just copped to the crime to protect Rocco Falconeri. But Cullum is putting out feelers to find out who else was on that pier. He is hunting for the real shooter. Will he find out some new intel that results in him making the connection to Rocco? If Cullum finds out a teenager shot him, will he actually go after Rocco? Yes. Yes, he absolutely will. Because Cullum is a psychopath who stabs people like Marco Rios to death in law offices. And that brings me to the final scene which completely shattered my nerves. Britt Westbourne and Rocco at GH. Britt is already losing her mind because of the Huntington's disease, the cold fusion project, and Sidwell's threats. But now she is carrying the weight of Rocco's secret and it is destroying her. Britt literally grabs Rocco in the hospital and delivers the most panicked warning I have ever heard. Your life is riding on this, don't you understand? The sheer panic in her voice, her body language was so frantic. Rocco is definitely shook up. He is just a kid and he is carrying this massive burden. And seeing Britt lose it like that just made it all so real for him. Did Britt spot him close to Cullum's room again? Because remember, Rocco was in Cullum's room delivering a pillow while doing community service. What if Rocco went back? Britt's fear is so palpable. She is terrified that Rocco is going to get himself killed. And honestly, I am too... Rocco has nothing to feel guilty about. He shot Cullum to save Britt and Jason's lives. He is a hero, but yet he feels so guilty. And the burden is just too hard for him to carry. He hates lying to Dante. He hates that Jason is in WSB custody because of him. But Britt knows that if Rocco confesses, Cullum will slaughter him. And what about Cassius? Cassius promised Britt that he would protect Rocco. But can we really trust Cassius? He is a Faison. He's playing Nathan, but he has that Faison blood. Britt's fear is that Rocco will get killed in spite of Cassius's promise to protect him. And I don't blame her for doubting him for a second. I mean, remember when they tried this kind of storyline with Spencer Cassadine? The whole teenage guilt and hiding from a villain thing. Yeah, it didn't work out so well then, and it is making me sick with anxiety now. Rocco is Lulu's son. He is Dante's son. He cannot be collateral damage in this WSB war. I am so emotionally invested in this show right now. I cannot even stand it. The writing is on fire, but my nerves are completely shot. Between Ethan turning into an assassin to save Holly, Sidwell having weird grief moments with James Valentin uncovering the gaslighting plot, and Britt trying to keep Rocco alive. I am going to need therapy after this week. Seriously, how are we supposed to wait until tomorrow to see what happens next? What is Sonny going to say to Ethan's proposition? Is Carly going to lock Jocelyn in the house to keep her away from Cullum? Is Rocco going to crack under the pressure? I need answers, and I need them now. Let me know in the comments if you guys are freaking out as much as I am. Because I definitely need to share this with people who get it.